Mix between a Chihuahua and a Dachshund is called a Chiweenie. There are no seagulls in Hawaii. Even though dragonflies have 6 legs, they cannot walk. Gummy bears were originally called dancing bears. Sea otters have the thickest fur of any mammal, at 1 million hairs per inch too. The bird on the Twitter logo is named Larry. He was named after the basketball player Larry Bird, who played for the Boston Celtics. The term coccyx, also known as your tailbone, is derived from the Greek word kuku, kaku, because vertical bar. The curved shape of the tailbone resembles the bird's beak. A baby has around 30,000 taste buds. They are not just on the tongue but also on the sides, back, and roof of the mouth. Adults have about 10,000. In one survey, 3 out of 4 people admitted to sharing an ice cream cone with their pet. When humans take a breath, they replace only 15% of the air in their lungs with fresh air. When dolphins take a breath, they replace 90% of the air in their lungs with fresh air. Feral pigs ate and completely destroyed $22,000 worth of cocaine that had been hidden in an Italian forest. Pablo Picasso would often carry around a pistol loaded with blanks. He would fire it at people he found boring or anyone who insulted the post-impressionist painter, Paul Cézanne. Monarch caterpillars breathe through holes in the sides of their bodies. Male lobsters' bladders are in their heads, and when they fight, they squirt each other in the face with urine. The word oysterhood means reclusiveness or an overwhelming desire to stay at home. Ancient pagan cultures, such as the Celts, believed that benevolent and helpful spirits lived in trees. Knocking on tree trunks roused a spirit for protection, which led to the saying knock on wood. Laughter synchronizes the brains of both speaker and listener so that they become emotionally attuned. Isaac Newton believed he was potentially part of a line of great men to receive great and ancient wisdom. He even created a special name for himself, Jehovah Sanctus Unus, or to Jehovah, the Holy One. Hugging your cat has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety, especially for people who are dealing with illness, depression, PTSD, and other ailments. A group of monkeys in Delhi, India reportedly attacked a laboratory assistant and escaped with several coronavirus blood samples. The monkeys were later spotted in a tree chewing one of the sample collection kits. Bart Simpson's name is an anagram of Brat. His full name is Bartholomew Jojo Simpson. An oak tree produces about 10 million acorns during its lifetime. There's enough concrete in the Hoover Dam to build a 2-lane highway from San Francisco to New York City. The Muppet Vampire, Count Von Count from Sesame Street, is based on actual vampire myth. One way to supposedly deter a vampire is to throw seeds outside a door. Vampires are compelled to count the seeds, delaying them until morning. The O before an Irish name, such as O'Reilly, means descendant of. Gossip and complaining make up approximately 80% of most people's conversations. Developing a larger vocabulary may help protect you against depression. It allows you to precisely label and confront subtle emotions. Riding or sitting on a sea turtle in the United States is a third-degree felony. Humans shed about 600,000 particles of skin every hour. By age 70, humans lose an average of 105 pounds of skin. Listening to your favorite music for just 15 minutes a day lowers stress levels, anxiety, sadness, and a depressed mood. To make 1 pound of honey, honeybees must gather nectar from nearly 2 million flowers. Bluetooth technology is named after a 10th century king, King Harald Bluetooth. Bluetooth united the tribes of Denmark, just like the wireless technology united cell phones and computers. A duel between 3 people is called a truel. There is a Statue of Liberty in Paris that faces the Statue of Liberty in America, showing friendship between the two countries. Research shows that people who laugh at dark jokes have higher IQs and report less aggressive tendencies. Termite queens live longer than any other insect. Some scientists estimate that they can live as long as 100 years. Ancient Romans left graffiti on Egyptian pyramids that says, "I didn't like anything but the sarcophagus, and I can't read the hieroglyphs." The Kararoo, New Zealand wood pigeon, is well known for getting drunk off fermented fruit and falling out of trees. Consequently, it has earned the reputation for being clumsy, drunk, gluttonous, and glamorous. Sweden has a rabbit show jumping competition called Cannon Hoppning. The world record for the highest rabbit jump is 42 inches, 106 centimeters. A female chicken will mate with many different males. If she decides later that she doesn't want a particular rooster's offspring, she can eject his sperm. This happens most often when the male is lower in the pecking order. Scientists believe that early human ancestors used to have 3 eyelids. One of the eyelids eventually became the small fold in the corner of human eyes today. The space between the eyebrows is called the glabella, which is derived from the Latin word glabellus, meaning smooth. The seagulls in the Alfred Hitchcock movie The Birds, 1963, were fed a mixture of wheat and whiskey so they would stand around and not fly too much. A pangram is a sentence that contains every letter in the language. For example, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Isaac Newton was a member of the British Parliament for 1 year. He spoke only once, and that was to tell someone to please close the window. The word porcupine means spiny pig in French. In the 2004 movie Mean Girls, the nice girl, Katie, is named after Elizabeth Cady Stanton, a 19th century pioneer in the American women's rights movement. In 1962, a laughter epidemic broke out in Tanzania. The outbreak began in a girls' school and spread to other communities, ultimately affecting 1,000 people and causing the temporary closure of 14 schools. Galatophobia is the fear of laughter. Those who suffer from galatophobia respond to all laughter as if it is at their expense. Up to 13% of the population could be afraid of laughter. The Wizard of Oz's full name is Oscar Zoroaster Fadrig Isaac Norman Henkel Emmanuel Ambroise Diggs. In the book, he explains that he called myself OZ, because the other initials were PINHEAD. Over 80% of people feel more confident approaching an attractive person if that person has a dog with them. A group of 400 trees in Poland's Krzywy Las, or Crooked Forest, are mysteriously and identically bent. The J-shaped trunks remain a mystery to this day. The word Q sounds the same even if the last 4 letters are removed. Before it meant line, a Q meant the tail of a beast in medieval pictures and designs. A group of penguins in the water is called a raft, and that a group of penguins on land is called a waddle. Capitonyms are words which change their meaning if the first letter is capitalized. For example, Turkey, the country, and turkey, the bird. The fear of running out of something to read is called a bibliophobia. Researchers from India recently discovered a new species of green pit vipers. They named the snake after Salazar Slytherin, one of the founders of the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry in the Harry Potter universe. When the first consistent phone service was established in 1878, Alexander Graham Bell suggested answering the phone with ahoy. The closest relative to bears are seals. Under Joseph Stalin's regime, Hamlet was banned. The official reason: Hamlet's indecisiveness and depression were incompatible with the new Soviet spirit of optimism, fortitude, and clarity. Beekeepers in France noticed that their bees were producing honey in unusual shades of green and blue. After investigating, the beekeepers discovered that the bees had been eating remnants of M&M candy shells from a nearby factory. In the late Middle Ages, books were so valuable that libraries would chain them to bookcases. Hummingbirds can't walk or hop. Their tiny legs are only used for perching and moving sideways while perched. A woman who lost her wedding ring found it 16 years later on a carrot in her garden. She lost her wedding ring after accidentally throwing it out with a compost in 1995. In 2012, she found it around a carrot in her garden. Smaller animals tend to perceive time as if it is passing in slow motion. Insects and small birds, for example, can see more information in 1 second than a larger animal such as an elephant. Killing a dolphin in ancient Greece was considered sacrilegious and was punishable by death. A group of goldfish is called a troubling. A glisk is sunlight that is glimpsed through a break in the clouds, a fleeting glance at a glittering sight, a brief glow of warmth from a fire that's burned low. It can also mean a sudden flash of hope in the heart. Pet owners usually have better self-esteem, are more in shape, and are less lonely than those who do not own pets. Though not commonly used, the day after tomorrow is called overmorrow. The word ferret is from the Latin fer, meaning little thief. Indeed, one of the ferret's favorite activities is stealing and hiding things. A snail's mouth is no larger than the head of a pin, but it can have over 25,000 teeth. Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa has her own mailbox at the Louvre because of all the love letters she receives. The cartoon character Tweety was originally named Orson. He was also naked, far more aggressive, and saucy. A group of lizards is called a lounge.